Alfred Lord Tennyson. The Romantics never really let you down, you know? So we have here today a poem that goes by two different names. Welcome to Strip Cover Lit, where we squeeze the bigger picture out of literature. I'm Adrian Ford, and we are here for another poetry discussion, which will appear in the poetry discussion playlist here on the channel. Now approaching 650 videos strong. That is my bugle. We'll get back to that in a moment, but the poem in question today is known as The Splendor Falls or Blow, Bugle, Blow by Alfred Lord Tennyson, and it reads as such. The splendor falls on castle walls and snowy summits old in story. The long light shakes across the lakes, and the wild cataract leaps in glory. Blow, bugle, blow, set the wild echoes flying. Blow, bugle, answer, echoes, dying, dying, dying. O hark, O hear, how thin and clear, and thinner, clearer, farther going. O sweet and far from cliff and scar, the horns of Elfland faintly blowing. Blow, let us hear the purple glens replying. Blow, bugle, answer, echoes, dying, dying, dying. O love, thy die in yon rich sky. They faint on hill or field or river. Our echoes roll from soul to soul and grow forever and forever. Blow, bugle, blow. Set the wild echoes flying, and answer, echoes, answer, dying, dying, dying. So I think at first blush, it would be possible to paint this poem as a cheap knockoff of a romantic poem. We have the landscape, we have the oh hark, oh hear, we have the mention of musical instruments, how cheap this could feel if you let this poem live there. I don't think that's what this poem is. I think that this poem is a poem befitting of Alfred Lord Tennyson and the rank amongst poets which he has claimed. But I think what you have to do to get there. So first off, the rhyme scheme is impressive. The AABA or AABCCB rhyme scheme. A A B C C B. Right? That rhyme scheme, that's not easy to do and have make sense. You've got to put some work in there. There is some elbow grease on display in this poem. That said, I think that it would be possible to get away from this poem and not let it have the weight that it should, because it does seem kind of sing-song, because it does have those sort of cliche elements of romantic poetry, because this refrain from each of these stanzas seems a bit gimmicky, but it seems a bit gimmicky to our modern sensibilities, our postmodern sensibilities, whatever you want to call them, our sense and sensibilities. I think to really get this poem in a good spot for discussion, the question has to be, what is that bugle? If we're going to go ahead with the assumption that poetry is metaphor, if we're going to go ahead and allow that something in this poem has to be metaphor, what would it be? In my opinion, it comes down to that bugle. Now, the really striking thing here is that, yeah, we've got a setting here kind of in this first stanza. The splendor falls on castle walls and snowy summits old and story. The long light shakes across the lakes, and the wild cataract leaps in glory. That's a beautiful kind of image. Great, awesome, neat. O hark, O hear, how thin and clear, and thinner, clearer, farther going. O sweet and far from cliff and scar, the horns of Elfland faintly blowing. Where is Elfland? Well, this poem is part of a larger piece from Alfred Lord Tennyson. I'm going to exclude that fact from this discussion. I'm going to treat this poem as if it stands alone, because here it does. So whatever Elfland is, hypothetical Elfland, mythical Elfland, it doesn't matter. If we're assuming that the bugle is the metaphor, then Elfland can be anything. Elfland, it sounds here pretty mystical. It sounds here pretty magical. The horns of Elfland faintly blowing. Blow, let us hear the purple glens replying. Blow, bugle, answer, echoes, dying, dying, dying. So much beauty, so much of the mystical, so much mystery in this poem, and yet we keep getting this refrain here, dying, 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 and then we get to this final stanza. O love, they die in yon rich sky. They faint on hill or field or river, or echoes roll from soul to soul and grow forever and forever. Blow, bugle, blow. Set the wild echoes flying, and answer, echoes, answer, dying, dying, dying. This final stanza seems to be predominantly about mortality, predominantly about the finite, predominantly about the end of you, the end of me, the end of all that we know and all that we will do. But even here, even in this stanza about death, even in this stanza about the end, our echoes roll from soul to soul. O love, they die in yon rich sky. Even in this stanza, we are calling out, blow, bugle, blow. We are urging that bugle to keep going. Please, keep sounding. Why? Why? Why here? Why when we're talking about the end? What if that bugle is the thing which gives hope? Without that bugle, things would be too dark. Without that bugle, things would be too serious. Without that bugle, things would be too dire. And so, the bugle here is the infinite. The bugle here is meaning. The music of yourself. The bugle here is that crying out to the universe itself, I exist. I still am. And the echo is the universe saying back to you, for now. Sure, now you are. Give it some time, bud. Dying, dying, dying. Is the bugle here then the craft? Right, we're talking about a bugle. You don't just pick up a bugle and play it. You learn the bugle. There are techniques to the bugle. I'm assuming. I've never played a bugle. I have no idea. Because of this, does the bugle here represent the infinite of our labors? We can labor on a day-to-day. We can put ourselves out there and perform tasks menial in nature. Tasks which will mean no more tomorrow than they did yesterday before we had done them. We can do that. We're free to do that. A lot of that has to be done in your daily life. No one benefits from you brushing your teeth except for you. That's not infinite. The benefits of brushing your teeth stop where your mouth ends. But this idea of the bugle here, this idea of the labor, of the craft picked up through time, calling out to the universe itself, only to hear back, finite, finite, finite. Still, as that bugle calls out, others hear it. The speaker in this poem is begging and pleading for whoever it is that plays that bugle. Blow, bugle, blow. The universe might be replying that you are finite. The universe might be replying that you are dying. The universe might be reminding you time and again that this is too short. But still, my soul takes vigor from that call. And in this way, whoever is playing that bugle lives for something larger than himself. Isn't that to which we should all strive? To improve this place in some way before we disappear? To make things in our corner just a little bit better before we die. That is all I have for this poetry discussion. If you like or appreciate what it is that I do here, hitting the like button really does help me out, as it tells YouTube to share this video with other literature lovers. If you find yourself here by chance but not design, literature is the only thing I do on this channel, dropping multiple videos every single week. There is poetry every Monday, and I hope to have you back for the next one.